If you're not good, you can't help anybody around you. You can't help your team, you can't help your label, you can't help anybody around you if you're not 100%.
In the morning when the sun starts to rise, so mama don't stress your mind.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. Today's review is Love and Hip Hop Miami Seasons 2, Episode 1. Okay, so we start this episode off with Trina at a Rico Love event. Her purpose of being there is to encourage these up-and-coming female rappers and to just let them know, basically, dodge the beef that's going on, stay true to yourself, stay true to your craft, focus on your music, and then you should be good. And then she's asked, well, how do you maneuver through the bull crap? Because I remember you were not too long ago in a little beef that had happened, and I can't remember what it was, but she made a video going off on somebody. I think she was drunk. I don't know. Or either drunk or fed up. But she made a video and she was going off on somebody. And she said that the reason why, or no, when it comes to situations like that, what she does is ask herself, what will Beyonce do? Because we know Beyonce, if she does respond, it's going to be in a classy song, baby. She ain't going to do too much of this. She's not going to keep defending herself. She's going to let y'all feel how y'all feel about her, and then she's going to continue to make her coin. And I feel like that is the best way to handle it, although not everybody had the strength to do so, okay? So we talk about that. She's also asked about this Trick TNT album. What's going to happen with it? Are y'all working on it? When is it coming? And she says, you know, right now it's hard to get Trick Daddy in the studio so that they could do that. So she doesn't really know right now. Rico Love isn't too happy with what he heard. So when the show is over, he's just like, what's going on with that? And then she tells him, look, he's dodging me. He's not answering my calls. He's not coming and taking this stuff seriously. What do you want me to do? And then he said, I want you to try a little bit harder because this could be something great and something really positive for Miami. So I need y'all to work on it. And so then she says, okay, well, you know, I'll try it again just for you. So now we're with Young Hollywood and Gunplay. They go to some restaurant on the block or somewhere, but they're there because not Young Hollywood, but Gunplay wants to talk because he's going through a whole lot. Him and his girl Keyara, they're not together anymore. They have let 4 years just go down the drain, and all because of some DMs. Now, originally they separated because she needed some time. He had started using again, and they never had any issues as far as women, but it's just him, like his addiction. He could not let it go, and she felt like it was necessary for her to move out, so she moved into her own place. So he's talking to Young Hollywood about this, and then Young Hollywood is like, look, I understand, but I feel like you need to fight for it, because, you know, if you really love her and you really feel like you want this to work, don't let DMs be the reason why y'all are not together and you done let 4 years just go. All right, y'all. So Amada La Negra, I just love saying her name. So anyway, she's in New York and she's performing at the Fashion Week, I believe, in New York. Her manager has been able to set up some really good gigs for her, so she's excited. She's focusing on her craft. She's making that money. You know, she's taking care of her mom, which is exactly what she wants to do. Now, while she's on performing or whatever, her phone keeps blowing up, but her manager's not answering it. He just keeps looking at it, and, you know, she's performing. So when she gets off of the stage, she says, how did you like the performance? And he's like, yeah, incredible. Look, your mom's been blowing you up. Like, she's just been nonstop. Within a 15-minute time frame, she's called you like several times. And I thought to myself, now why the hell didn't he just answer the phone? Like, you see that her mom keeps calling her back to back to back. Obviously, it's an emergency. All right, y'all. So now we're with Jessie Woo, and she is at her mom's church. She's performing. Beautiful voice. I remember her from the Queen Supreme Court. She was a host on there, but I didn't follow much of her. I didn't follow much of her social medias or anything. So, I mean, she was funny on the Queen Supreme Court. Her mom wants her to start coming to church more. But she's like, no, Mom, you know, I just have other stuff that I'm doing. And then she talks about this Sister Talk Live that she has, that she does on Sundays. And her mom's like, you're doing whatever you need to do to stay out of this church. no, I need you to start coming more, you know what I mean? And I don't like you doing all that stuff that you're doing. And she's talking about her comedy. She says she doesn't like it. You know, she didn't raise her to be like that. And so her mom's funny though. They talk about titties and then they talk about zuzus, which I found out is the pita. Now we are at Prince's dad's event. And it's a party that he's thrown or whatever. Prince tells us that he used to put his dad on his pedestal. He basically became a promoter just like his dad. He also tells us that life wasn't always easy and his dad wasn't always there. That he has had to sleep out of cars. He said that he's been in and out of jail. And that, you know, he's just trying to find his way. And now he's decided that promoting is, even though he's good at it, he doesn't want to continue doing that. He wants to put his focus somewhere else. And his dad agrees, you know, maybe it is time for you to do that. Miami Tip, she walks up or her and Bobby walk up or whatever and they're talking. And we find out that Bobby and Prince are really, really cool. Now, I can't recall this from last season. I briefly went over last season just so that I could have some idea, like some sort of context. But I did not really watch all of the shows, so I don't know if they're exactly, like, if they're super cool, if Bobby Light and Prince are super cool. It seems odd to me because Prince does seem a little feminine, and we know that Bobby Light is, you know, he's gay, but it just seemed odd. Not that a straight man and a gay man can't be friends. It just seemed odd to me because Prince does seem very feminine. Well, we talk about the fact that social media thought the same thing. And so, you know, the rest of social media thought the same thing. So they have been posting comments saying, okay, this can't be real. Like, y'all can't be really friends. What is this type situation? And he feels like, you know what I mean? I'm just going to let the negativity go. This is my dude. I don't care what nobody says. Prince walks off and then Bobby Light and Miami Tip are left talking. And so Bobby Light says that JoJo thinks that Prince is using Bobby Light for his contacts, like using him to get to another place in his career as opposed to really genuinely wanting to be his friend. Miami Tip feels like, well, no, I think honestly y'all both are immature, like y'all both fit each other, because she recalls a time on his social media, a vlog where he knocked his hat, Prince knocked his hat off his head, then Bobby Light go chasing him. He bumps into the corner of a store and falls down. So I don't know why she mentioned that, honestly. It seems a bit out of place. It was just like, yeah, she thinks he's using me. And then she said this, like they talk about the vlog and how he falls. So I don't know, y'all. I don't understand why that was thrown in there. All right, y'all. So now we're at Amada's home and she's there to check on her mom. But first of all, y'all, why I thought she was pulling up to a hotel to check on her mom until she said it was her house. I said, girl, this is your house? It looked like a freaking motel, like a inn, like one of them motel inns or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, y'all, so she pulls in there and she goes and she talks to her mom. Her mom explains the situation, that she went to sleep with a candle on. She woke up, smoke everywhere. She went and tried to, I guess, instead of grabbing something, her initial thought was use her hand to stop the fire. And that's why her hand blistered up or whatever. And so Amada tells her, you know, you can't do that. I work for you. So if you're not here, then I have no purpose. And so her mom promises that she'll do better, but she also says, look, baby, you can't just keep thinking about me like that. Although I know you want to be here and be my caretaker, you can't do that because this is a sacrifice you have to make for the success that you have. So now we're at Trick Daddy's house. I recall from last season, he likes to have a lot of like barbecues or whatever. So that's what he's doing. They out there playing poker, enjoying themselves. He said he is the mayor of Dade County and the governor of Gunshine State or something like that. I was like, okay, Trick, all right. And he said he's been in the game for Dub, and for us L7s, that's 20 years. He talks to Gunplay, it was Young Hollywood and another artist that's supposed to be coming out named Chaotic. And they're talking about this whole Trina project and or TNT project. And he says that Trina has sent him information, like things to work on, but he feels like it's so diva-ish. And he's like, this is not us. This isn't what we've made back in the G. I want to make that music, not your music that you're trying to put in today. He's like, no, I'm trying to keep it to what made us or gave us the level of success that we have today. And I see Trina's point of view on this. We can't stay stuck in the 90s. We gotta bring it up into the current times. Stuff isn't popping today. Well, I don't want to say that, because you can bring the old school to the new school, but the thing is, it's like at least meet her halfway. You get what I'm saying? So he basically talks about, though, that's why he hasn't been answering her call. I feel like it's very immature. Instead of you answering the phone and saying, look, I got your verses, I got the music you sent me, I'm really not feeling it, can we tweak it? Or even just go to the freaking studio and tell her how you feel. Because you seem to be a very outspoken person. I doubt you're biting your tongue. So the fact that you keep avoiding her, I'm just like, I wasn't feeling it. I didn't understand how his wife, that she's trying to get her divorced, and he's saying the reason why he won't give her the divorce is because he wants to be able to okay the person she goes to, or she has to find somebody that is equal to him or better than him. What? See, he played too many dang games. See, he couldn't have been my husband. I'm gonna force that divorce, honey. We not gonna be married if I don't want to be married, because you blocking her from people that she could potentially be with. Let her choose her own dudes. I didn't like that about him. But I said all that to say, Trina knows how he is. So for her to keep, like, throughout this episode, you can see she's getting very frustrated and tired of dealing with this. What do you mean, Trina? You know how he is, because he won't even let his wife out of a freaking marriage because he doesn't want to. So what makes you think he's gonna give you what you want? So meanwhile, Trina's at the studio with her A&R and her engineer, and she calling them. Look, he didn't answer again. A&R says, look, let's just go ahead and focus on your stuff. Let's build your craft. And, you know, just not worry about what he's doing. So she finally agrees to it, which I'm like, that's common sense. So now we're with JoJo and Amitai Angor. They're out to eat. And JoJo says she misses her because Amitai has been out, booked and busy. Okay, Amitai says she's been having a really good time, but you know, it's keeping her away from her mom, and she doesn't like that. We talk about JoJo is still cut off from her daddy that is rich, but he has cut her and her mama off. I think it was because the mom testified against him, so he cut her off, and then he cut his daughter off, I guess because the daughter decided to get on the side of the mama. I don't know, y'all. She talks about the fact that she now is friends with Bobby Light, and that during Hurricane, Bobby Light came to stay with her, and Amita's like, you know, I would watch him. I'm just saying, like, from my experience, that's why I say to myself, I really feel like JoJo is she's very impressionable, right? Anybody can come and tell her something and she immediately thinks that is the best way. Because later on in this episode, she tells Bobby Light, she tells us that she told Bobby Light that she can't talk to him anymore because she can't trust him, which is the same thing that Amitai Angor told her. She said, you can't trust him. So then after she got that information, she ran back. It's like, boo, think for yourself. Did he show you something to make you feel any other type of way? Then why would you go and just take Amitai Angor's point of view and run with it? You know what I mean? This is her experience with him, and you have your own. All right, y'all. So now we are at the Sister Talk Live event that Jessie Woo has thrown. Okay, she invited her mom, but her mom didn't know if she'd be able to make it because it was on a Sunday, so she decided to put Jesus first. She's not there, but the rest of the moms are there, and we're talking about women and their moms. So nothing much. I mean, it's just a little small talk. How was your life growing up? Stuff like that. Then we start talking about, have your daughter ever dated someone that you did not want them to date? And then the mom starts talking about the celebrities. And then JoJo's mom spilled the tea and says that JoJo has been talking to Pleasure P, which catches Joy off guard because she's like, what? Like, nobody even had any idea that y'all were talking. That's crazy. No, she's like, oh, I know. JoJo's like, I know you feel a way about it, Joy. And she's like, no, I'm good. I'm not the one that you're going to have a problem with. You know what I mean? Joy is just mainly happy that it's not Shay. Because she's just like, I didn't like her. As long as you're not with Shay, we good. Miami tip talks to JoJo, because JoJo's like how she wants to be loyal to her friends, and you know, loyalty is everything. And so then Miami Tip is like, oh, loyalty is everything, but you're cool with Bobby Light and Prince. Bobby Light told me that you told him that you couldn't trust him. And she's like, yeah, I told him because I had a conversation with Amada, and she told me about how she don't trust him. So then I went back and I told him that I could not trust him. But then you also told Bobby Light, though, after you said you couldn't trust him, you told Bobby Light that he shouldn't trust Prince because Prince could be using him. And she was like, well, what do you mean? Like, I wasn't trying to be like that. Like, I was just being straight. And it's like, what Miami Tip is saying is, you are causing, you're friends with all of these people, right? But you claim to be loyal to these people, yet you are going from one person to the next, starting problems. For you to go, after you talk to Amada, for you to go to Bobby Light and tell him that you don't trust him because, I don't know how the conversation went, but you went and told him that after she told you that she don't trust him. So then you went and said that. And so then after that, you done told him, but by the way, you shouldn't trust Prince. All right, y'all. So now we are at Keyara's house with Gunplay, and he's here desperately trying to find out if he can salvage this relationship. He misses her. He loves her. He wants her in his life. He's just like, look, like, what do I have to do? Can you give me another chance? They end up in an argument, and I'm like, dude, you're supposed to be there trying to get her back, not arguing with her. But he says, look, they end up crying and everything, y'all. He tells her, he says, I was basically fishing for stuff out here because you were not giving it to me. When you decided to move out and go into your own apartment, that made us distant. And now, or distant, I don't know why I said distance, but now, you know, I go out and I'm looking for this in other people. I never slept with any of these girls, but it happened. I'm sorry, but it didn't go any further than that. And, you know, he does say that he let the drugs go and everything like that. But she's decided to just be by herself for a little while. And I feel like it's healthy. It is healthy when you have hurt a person to the extent that you have hurt her. You need to allow her some time to make sure this is what she wants. Make sure this is worth her time and her effort and her energy. Because up to that point, you have showed her that you didn't care. Even though you say you love her, you showed her you didn't care. And you didn't care for her relationship when you disrespected it like that. It don't matter if you slept with these girls. You emotionally were trying to find something. And I think that's worse than actually physically doing it. You get what I'm saying? So it's a tough situation. I applaud her for being strong enough to say, look, just because he came here crying to me don't mean I'm just going to run back to him. I'm going to still stand on my own 2 feet. And I'm going to do what's best for me and what's healthy for me and see by myself what I want, and then go and looking for it, you know, looking for that in another man or in a man. You know, she didn't say she was going to move on. She just said she wanted to be by herself. That's the most healthiest thing. I really hope that people are taking notes here. He had to make his dramatic exit, and he knows that he's going to keep fighting for her, but he also knows she ain't playing. Take it to the house, y'all. This is the last thing we're going to talk about. So we're at this event. First of all, we started off with Trina wanting to talk to Trick Daddy about this TNT project, and he really wasn't trying to hear it. But she's like, look, I feel like this is all I have. I need you to take it serious. And he's just like, blah, 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 blah. Like, he ain't listening to nothing she has to say. They go ahead, put on their happy face, go out there and they perform. It took me way back to the time that the music video came out. I really, like, it was a really good time, but it was very, very dated. Like, I was like, y'all really out there with your shorts on and your jerseys on a stage in a school, take it to the house. Like, it really made me think of the freaking video that they made. So anyway, after their performance is over, they have a good performance, and then she decides to play her own song, and I guess she's going to do her own performance. He tells them turn that shit off. She gets upset, she runs off. Now she's back there cussing and fussing at everybody that cares to listen because she feels like he continues to disrespect her. He doesn't care about her. She's tired of this TNT project. Meanwhile, he ain't said shit. He probably done left for the day. But she is very upset and she's crying. And that's pretty much how the show ends. I do feel bad for Trina, but again, I feel like she needs to put her focus on her own projects instead of trying to revive something from way back then. Just because it happened then don't mean it's going to happen again now. And I feel like that's where she is. Like, she's stagnant. She don't want to move unless he's moving with her. Maybe that's the point in her life where she feel like that's when she was really put on. And so she feels like that's the only thing that's going to make her relevant again, because I haven't really heard a hit from her in a very, very long time. Was it Here We Go Again? I mean, I don't know. Like, it's been a long time. And so I just feel like she's scared to just get out there and do her own thing, and she feels like he keep disrespecting her. But like I said before, he doing it to his wife, so what makes you think that he's not going to do it to you? All right, guys, get into the comments.
Yeah, low key and maybe high key. I been peeped that you like.